Welcome to LearnWake. This is Brandon Judd, and I am responding today to a video analysis request that's been uploaded by romiluz. And this is a follow-up video on some LearnWake progress that he's been making lately. So for those catching up, if you want, you can check out some of those videos to see where he started. But for now, we're just going to go and move on into the description here, where he says he's fixed his major problems, the edging and the standing tall. Besides this, he's looking to perfect more style. What should he do next? 360, 180, maybe inverts. He's motivated to advance, and sure he can with our help. So in here, you have made some really good progress, which I'm really pleased to see. It's not perfect yet. Your body position, you could stand a little taller. So I'm going to show you here. Oh, and when you're filming these in the future, if you want to do it horizontal, it'll fill the screen a little better. But for now, this works. So I want you to see how you're still kind of broken at the waist. Granted, it's a lot better than it was, but there's some room for improvement there. So here you can see that your hips are kind of behind you a little bit, and your leg gets fully extended, but you never really get all the way upright with your body. But you still get decent pop. Your landings are nice. And we just want to be bending your knees more, bending at the knees more than bending at the waist. So if you could try and push those hips forward and work on some of those drills a little more that we talked about, that would really improve that. However, that is kind of a slow road. So let's talk a little bit more about some other things you can do in the meantime while you're working on that, and it will improve it greatly. So one thing, again, just to reinforce this, when you're edging out, see how you're dropping your hips behind you really far? Your hips should be really far forward when you're edging. You should try and push it forward and up toward the handle while you're leaning back like that. And that will keep you in a tall position. And I know you're just edging out to come back in for a toe side jump, but doing this like that, kind of the lazy way, this will ingrain a bad habit on your heel side approach. So it is important to correct this as well, because we'll see this issue start to creep in other places. But again, it's much better than it was before, but we have some room for improvement there. And then on your toe side jumps, they're looking much better, much more confident. You're still hips behind you a little bit, so room for improvement there. But you resisted a lot more, and that was really good. So I've got a few things that I'd like you to work on. Well, first of all, keep doing these 180s. This is great. That'll really help you. Ride and switch a lot will really help you. So let's move on to all the drills that I've got up our sleeve here that we can have you work on. The first one is called the ultimate warm-up. I can't remember if we had mentioned it before in the previous one. We may have, but this is a good refresher for everyone else at home. The ultimate warm-up warms up all of your edges. Heel side, toe side, switch, regular, and it also helps you rely on loose rope turns and tight rope turns or leverage turns. Get your ollies in there, so I'd like to see some more ollies from you, some re-entry pops, re-entry ollies, and that's all going to really help you. So watch this video. It's called the ultimate warm-up, and do that every time you get up. You should be getting really comfortable with this. The next drill I'd have you work on is called getting into the cuffed riding position. So I want you to practice. I know we talked about, or you had mentioned a 360 and maybe some inverts. Right now I would keep working on your jumps, and when it comes to things in the air, just keep improving your jumps. But on the surface, we can start working on 360. So this is sort of your roadmap to the 360. I don't want you to just hit the wake and try a 360 right now, because you'll have a low success rate on that. So this is the drill that gets you started, is learning how to get into the cuffed riding position. Once you're in the cuffed riding position, it's really important to get you comfortable looking away from the boat, as this points out in this video. Looking away from the boat like this, it gets you really comfortable looking in the opposite direction you've never looked before. So you should be getting comfortable looking this way, and just get used to having your hands behind your back, and get familiar with where the handle is, so you don't really have to think about it. And it's going to help you a lot down the road. You'll be able to work on some really fun things as well, going at a really slow speed. So I want to show you some things at the end of the video. So this is a 360 drill that you can do inside out. I'll go back to that again if I can cue it up properly. Alright, so you're going to do an inside out, heel side, front side 180 for this little drill. And this is once you get comfortable with the cuffed riding position. So you'll be doing a heel side, front side 180, inside out, where you land, you kind of ollie early, and you land on the down side of the wakes in your switch riding position. As soon as you get switch, you'll get cuffed with your hands behind your back, and then you will leverage the board around, and you'll keep two hands on the handle. Again, this is going to be very awkward for you right now, so what I want you to do is just get comfortable in the cuffed position, edging around, switching your feet underneath you at nice slow speeds, and eventually it'll get you really comfortable with some really mellow, just surface tricks that will get you used to that position, so you can start going wake to wake and passing the handle, and then eventually start doing some 360s. So you're on the right track. Everything's looking like you would be really comfortable with this once you spend some time practicing it. Alright, so the next thing, and this is different because you did mention some backside 180s. This is called forcing the blind position. So the other one was a cuffed position, which works on kind of a toe side backside 180, which is a handle pass 180 where you don't necessarily land blind. You can, but it's a different type of rotation. Whereas this is where you don't pass the handle, you just land in the blind position. And this drill teaches you how to force your body into that blind landing position. And you go real slow, it's really mellow, and you just start working on these backside slides. So I want you to be able to do the backside slide and direct yourself outside of the wakes with this backside slide, still looking at the boat. The important thing is that you stay looking at the boat and don't look away yet. So this is kind of opposite from your cuffed drills. But what this will do is it allows you to get comfortable twisted like that, teaches you how to be in an awkward position while you get into the blind position, and you can find your comfort level between riding blind and riding in this over twisted blind position. Again, this is all surface stuff that's going to help your board control get really, really good, and at the same time, not only are you working on your board control, but you're ingraining the right habits for when you do start learning these. So if you were able to get some of these down, it makes your wake jumps better just by doing them. And then when it comes time to do backside 180s, you're already comfortable with it. So it's kind of a win-win on both ends. The next thing we have here is a re-entry ollie drill. This is in your ultimate warm-up. I mentioned doing some re-entry ollies. And if you don't know how to do them, this is a drill that will help you learn how to do re-entry ollies on the face of the wake. This will reinforce and set you up for future tricks of toe side, front side of axis spins and front rolls and stuff. But what it also does is it teaches you how to use your board at the wake to really pop off the face of the wake. Use all the force of the water to get your board pushed up into the air really high. You can do it, front side and back side. It's going to set you up for progression the best that way. So this is very achievable for you once you get your ollies a little more comfortable, it's really a lot of fun. I like doing them. So here is the next drill. So once you start doing, and you don't have to even do this wake to wake, you can do one wake versions of this, or you can shorten the rope up and have a little bit shorter wake to wake jump, because the shorter you bring the rope in, the narrower the wakes get, which means that you don't have to jump as far across. It also means you have a little less time in the air and a little less of an approach. However, if you're casing the wake a lot, like landing on the top of the next wake and having a hard time landing, bringing in the rope 5 feet or so can really aid with that. So if you decide to do this wake to wake or one wake, it doesn't matter, but these are some things that I want you to start doing in your jumps, and this is going to help you with your 360s, your air awareness, and everything. So it's a heel side jump with you can do it with backside and front side shifties. I just kind of wanted to show you this one. This is a backside shifty. So all you do is you just twist the board backside 90 degrees and then return back to land. They're really fun to do. Eventually you start adding grabs onto them, and it's really a blast. Again, you can also start doing some grabs as well. So that one you can do it twist 90 degrees backside like in this, or you can twist 90 degrees front side. Here's a toe side front side shifty, so you can do this on your heels as well, but I just kind of want to show you an example. So toe side approach, and then you'll pop up and then into a front side shifty like you're going to do a 180, but you only go halfway and then return back to your toe side landing. And you can do this on your heels and your toes, front side and back side. And what this will do is it will give you control with the handle, because you use the handle a bit to leverage this around. And it makes you really comfortable in the air on your board so that you can fix things. Because every once in a while on your toe side jumps, you'll accidentally untwist. You'll end up in that front side shifty position. And this teaches you how to fix that. So really these are all troubleshooting, fixing issues that will really help you down the road, especially in flips when you finish a flip and the flip rotation has kind of turned you front side or back side a little bit unintentionally. That's really going to help you a lot with that. So that's about it. Everything else you've been doing looks like you're on track. Again, fixing the edging thing a little bit more, but that's going to take some time. So I wouldn't stress out too much about having that be perfect right away. That will come in time, but you need to keep working on the drills. Don't forget the drills we had you do last time, with like the standing tall drill and the hard lean drill and all that. But these are some other drills that you should definitely incorporate right now before we start getting into 360s in the air and before we start getting into inverts. This will give me and you both a little bit more confidence in your board control and your air awareness. And once you work on these, it's crazy how fast the tricks start just coming together. So again, thanks for uploading the video. Thanks for being a LearnWake member, and we're excited to see you progress.